Shalom again, Israel. This is your brother Ben Zadek coming to you in part 2 of the USA in Prophecy. If you haven't checked out part 1, check it out so you can understand part 2. Let's continue. Americans are considered human capital, money. You can find this under Executive Order 13037. The US has two flags, a military flag and a civil flag for peacetime. Why do you think the US constantly flying the military flag? Military, the definition pertaining to war or to the army, concerned with war, Black 6th edition. The Amendatory Act to the Trading with the Enemy Act of October 6, 1917, namely the Emergency Banking Relief Act of March 9, 1933, defined the American people as the enemy, legally, of the United States government, because of the U.S. bankruptcy, through which the private international Federal Reserve System became the government. If you notice, brothers and sisters, when you go inside one of these courts, and let me define that for you, court is not a place that you go for justice. The court that you go to it's a game. For example, the Miami Heat versus Chicago Bull. That's how the name is stated in this court. Your name versus whosoever. It is a game. For example, where's the basketball game played? On a court, spelled the same way, C-O-U-R-T. Where does the golf is played on the golf course. The tennis is played on a tennis court. It's a game with a referee. Who is the referee? That guy, man or woman, who they call a judge or a hearing officer. There's no judge in America since 1789, September 24, 1789, under the Judiciary Act. Okay, that's another study for another time. So what we are being run by is administrative hearings. That's why you have hearing officers. There's no judges in America since 1789, September 24. But we'll continue that on another video. In a court, or this so-called court, is a game, and it's a serious game, sometimes a game that pertains to your life. Okay? In this game, the person who understands the rule of the game and applies the rules properly, will come out victorious. That's why you have a referee. And it's amazing, a lot of these so-called judges are all so-called referees, not a coincidence. And the judge, normally, they always say the judge sits on the bench. If you look up the word bench, it's a Latin word that means bank. Yes, so the judge is sitting on the seat of the bank. It's all finance. You may have noticed that the national flag of the United States always has a gold fringe when displayed in court or federal buildings. And you see this also in federally funded schools and on the uniform of U.S. troops. Under the international law of the flags, a gold fringe indicates the jurisdiction of commercial law, also known as British Maritime Law, and in the U.S. as the Uniform Commercial Code, or UCC. The United States military is everything that comes under the term federal, is owned by the United States Corporation. It is not the duty of the U.S. police to protect Americans. Their job is to protect the corporation and arrest code breakers. Case law to support this is SAP versus Tallahassee, 348 SO, second 363 REIFF versus the City of Philadelphia, 477 F, period, sub, period 1262, and Lynch versus N, period, C, period, Department of Justice, 376 S, period, E, period, 2ND, period, 247. Do you understand that? The police job is not to protect you, the American nationals. The police job is to protect the corporations. Okay? The police departments are mini corporations themselves. Okay? Their job is to protect the code breakers who violate the rules of the corporation and to bring in more funds. Okay? To the corporations. They're to protect the corporations, not you. Okay? There are no judicial court in America, and there has not been any, as I said before, since 1789. Why? Judges do not enforce statutes and codes. Executive administrators enforce statutes and codes. This is in the case law of FRC versus GE 281 US 464, Keller versus PE 261 US 428. One statute 138 178. Okay? We are living under some serious dictatorship. We are living in some serious time. We are witnessing the revived Roman Empire and the upcoming mark of the beast. Now, get some more information. The FCC, CIA, FBI, NASA, and all of the other alphabetical gangs were never part of the United States government. Even though the U.S. government held shares of stock in various agencies, you can find the case law for this in U.S. versus Strong, 254 U.S. 491, Lewis versus U.S., 680 F.2D, 1239. Americans may think that their government and legal system is pegged in some way to the Constitution, but it is not. The United States, like Britain and elsewhere, is ruled by commercial law to overcome the checks and balances of common law. It's another monumental fraud. Britain is owned by the Vatican. You can find this in the Treaty of 1213 of the Common Era. The Pope can abolish any law in the United States. Do you know that? It's under Elements of Ecclesiastical Law, Volume 1, 53 to 54. The Pope's laws are obligatory on everyone. Bened, period, 14, Decin, period, Dios, LIB, 9, C, 7, N4. Prati, 1844. Syllabus, Prop 28, 29, 44. Americans are the cows. The IRS is the company that milks the cow. The United States Corporation is the veterinarian who takes care of the herd, and the British Crown is the owner of the farm. The farm is held in allodium by the Pope. All this is founded on Roman law, which goes back to the Babylon and Sumerian law. The Illuminati bloodline has been playing this game throughout the centuries. It was brought into England in 1066 and has been enforced by the Pope, kings, and the Christian churches ever since. It is total and relentless mind control. People are taught to believe in things that do not exist. Brothers and sisters, it is tough. We're living under a new world order. There's not actually anything really new about it, because it goes all the way back to the Tower of Babel in the book of Genesis chapter 10, when Nimrod wanted to bring the world into one world order, to do wickedness, evil, and the Almighty confused them and divide them. That's why we have the word Babel, which means Babylon, confusion. They were dispersed, but ever since they were dispersed, they were always trying to unite once again to that one new world order. That's why on the American dollar bill, it states very clearly in Latin, Annuitas Subtus, okay? Nueva Order Seclorum, the birth, announcing the birth of the New World Order. That New World Order was born in America, July 4th, 1776. Until then, Shalom.